The church bells rang across the city that bright morning, their echoes bouncing through marble streets and across the tall glass windows of the downtown district. It was the wedding of the year, the kind people whispered about for months in advance. Photographers gathered outside, their cameras flashing at every luxury car that pulled up in front of the grand cathedral. It was the wedding of the year, the kind people whispered about for months in advance. Photographers gathered outside, their cameras flashing at every luxury car that pulled up in front of the grand cathedral. Guests dressed in silk gowns and designer suits filled the aisles, waiting for the moment when a millionaire groom and his stunning bride-to-be would promise their forever. But hidden beneath all that glitter and wealth was a truth no one dared to imagine until the very moment a poor cleaner with worn shoes and trembling hands opened her mouth at the altar, and in one breath, she changed everything.
Quick pause here. If this story's grabbing your interest, tap like and subscribe. It really helps me keep bringing you these tales.
Her name was Marina Costa, a woman in her late 50s who had spent her life cleaning other people's homes, offices, and banquet halls. Marina's face carried the lines of decades of sacrifice, and her hands bore the calluses of endless work. She was invisible to most people, the kind of woman who passed by unnoticed with her mop and bucket, always lowering her eyes when guests walked past. That morning, she had been hired by the wedding planners to make sure the cathedral floors gleamed like mirrors, and that every seat shone spotless for the high society guests. She had worked quietly, unnoticed, as flowers worth thousands of dollars were arranged and crystal chandeliers glowed above her head. But Marina wasn't just any cleaner in this story. She carried with her a secret that connected her to the groom, Adrienne, a young billionaire with a reputation for charm and generosity. He had built a fortune through international investments, but behind his polished smile was a man searching for real love. Adrienne had been raised by a single mother, and though he rarely spoke of it, those memories shaped him. He knew the struggles of growing up with very little, and that memory made him value loyalty more than money. Yet, as fate would have it, Adrienne had fallen for Celeste Grant, a glamorous woman from a powerful family, someone who seemed perfect in every way. From the outside, Celeste looked like the ideal bride, beautiful, sophisticated, and admired by everyone. But behind closed doors, she was nothing like the angelic figure she pretended to be. Her heart was sharp with arrogance, her words often cruel to those she considered beneath her. And among those she humiliated the most was Marina, the poor cleaner who worked silently in the background. Celeste often mocked Marina in front of other staff, tossing careless insults about her clothes, her accent, and even her age. Marina endured it all quietly, never wanting to create trouble, but her heart ached each time. The morning of the wedding, Marina had been cleaning near the bridal suite when she overheard something that froze her in place. Celeste was on the phone, speaking in a harsh whisper to someone Marina didn't know. The words were sharp, almost venomous.
Don't worry. Once I'm married, Adrienne's money is as good as ours. He's too blinded by love to see the truth. Just make sure the accounts are ready when I call. I won't waste my life on a man who actually believes in fairy tales.
Marina's heart pounded. She clutched the mop handle tightly, her chest rising and falling. It was a conversation that revealed Celeste's true intentions. She didn't love Adrienne. She only loved his wealth. Marina's conscience battled with fear. She knew she was just a cleaner, a nobody in the eyes of these rich and powerful people. Who would believe her over a woman like Celeste? If she spoke, she risked being thrown out, humiliated, or even blacklisted from future work. Yet, if she stayed silent, she would be allowing Adrienne, a man who had once shown her unexpected kindness, to walk blindly into ruin. Because months earlier, on an ordinary afternoon, Adrienne had stopped by the cathedral during one of Marina's shifts. Instead of walking past her like others did, he had smiled, offered her bottled water, and even asked her name. That small act of dignity had stayed with her, warming her heart in ways she couldn't explain. As the ceremony began, Marina's stomach churned with dread. The grand organ filled the air. The guests rose to their feet, and Celeste walked down the aisle in her breathtaking gown. Continued from previous shot. Adrienne stood at the altar, his face glowing with nervous joy, believing he was about to marry the woman of his dreams. Marina stood at the back of the cathedral, clutching an envelope she had been given by the planner. A simple errand to hand over some documents at the right moment. But in her other hand, she clutched courage.
Priest, if anyone knows any reason why these two should not be joined in holy matrimony, speak now. Narrator, VO. When the priest asked if anyone had reason the couple should not be wed, the cathedral fell silent, and then before she could stop herself, Marina stepped forward.
Marina, I cannot stay silent.
Narrator, VO. The guests gasped. Narrator, VO. Celeste's face turned pale, then furious. Narrator, VO. Adrienne's brow furrowed as he looked at Marina, the cleaner in her plain uniform, standing at the altar with tears in her eyes. Narrator, VO. Marina's heart raced, but she spoke anyway.
Marina, speaking aloud. Don't worry. Once I'm married, Adrienne's money is as good as ours. He's too blinded by love to see the truth. Just make sure the accounts are ready when I call. I won't waste my life on a man who actually believes in fairy tales. Narrator, VO. She told them what she had heard, repeating Celeste's cruel words. Every sentence cut through the air like thunder. She begged Adrienne to open his eyes, not for her sake, but for his own.
Narrator, VO. At first no one moved. Shock rippled through the room.
Celeste, shouting, "Liar, you're trying to ruin my happiness!" Narrator, VO. Celeste burst into rage, shouting at Marina, calling her a liar, a bitter old woman trying to ruin her happiness.
The guests whispered, some horrified, others unsure of what to believe. But Adrienne's eyes locked on Celeste, searching her face for truth. And in that tense silence, something inside him shifted. He remembered the countless small signs he had ignored, the way Celeste dismissed waiters, the sharpness in her tone whenever he spoke about charity, the emptiness in her compliments. He turned toward her, asking softly if what Marina said was true. Celeste stammered, tried to deny it, but the venom in her anger betrayed her. In that moment, Adrienne made his decision. He turned to the priest and declared the wedding canceled. Gasps filled the cathedral as Celeste screamed in humiliation, storming down the aisle while the cameras clicked furiously. Adrienne didn't chase her. Instead, he walked to Marina. His eyes softened, filled with gratitude, and he took her hands gently, thanking her for her courage.
You gave me the truth.
And Marina broke down in tears. For once, her voice had mattered. The aftermath was not what anyone expected. The scandal spread like wildfire, but instead of pitying Celeste, people admired Adrienne's strength and Marina's bravery. News outlets covered the story of the poor cleaner who saved a millionaire from marrying for money. Strangers reached out to Marina, praising her honesty, some even offering her better jobs. Adrienne, however, went further. He insisted Marina no longer work as a cleaner, offering her a position managing a charitable foundation he established in her name, the Costa Foundation, dedicated to helping underprivileged women find dignity in work and education. The cathedral that had witnessed heartbreak became the birthplace of something greater, a bond between truth and kindness. Marina, once invisible, was now respected. Adrienne, once blinded, had found clarity. And though their paths were different, both walked away with a deeper understanding of what truly mattered. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe to Kindness Corner for more inspiring stories that remind us of the power of kindness and truth. And before we end, tell me in the comments, would you have had the courage to speak up if you were in Marina's place? I'd love to hear your thoughts because sometimes it only takes one brave voice to change the course of someone's life forever. And on that bright morning, under the bells of the cathedral, a poor cleaner's voice saved a millionaire's future.
Thank you for treading this trail of tales till we travel together again on another adventure.